It is now time for the title fight. Okay, it's not really that, but it is definitely one of the heavy-hitting matches of the night. Not even complexity. It's Cloud9 versus Liquid. If I struggle anymore, you might as well just push me right off of this desk. Please, just push me away.
I think we might need to get Blue back in here.
Yeah, I mean, look, Blue's a guy that literally has it all. And I don't mean that, like, okay, he can do...
Well, he does not have a replays.
He can do desk hosting. He can do commentary. And when I say he has it all, he's got a drone. He's got a dog. He's got an electric skateboard. He's got NMDs, fire NMDs, too. Them things are pretty. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's break down this matchup. We've got Liquid. We've got Cloud9 in what is sure to be one of the best games of the night.
No, I think it's easily the best game of the night, almost regardless of what we end up seeing. To be fair, well, we did see overtime in the first match versus Energy and SK, but we only got to see one map out of that. So, it definitely should be a cracking game.
Well, a cracking game. Let's look now at the standings across the board here in North America, as this is the second to last night here at the Pro League. And again, your top 6 teams will be advancing on to the LAN finals in Dallas in late May, early June. I think it encompasses an entire week.
Yeah, it does. Group stages start already on the 29th, and obviously for those who are lucky enough to make it through the group stages, end up in Dallas on the 3rd and 4th of June to fight it out for that top spot. And today, Liquid can't necessarily make it all the way to to Dallas just today. Still have to play versus Luminosity to make that happen. But Cloud9 on their end with the 2-0 here will actually solidify their spot.
Well, when you say Cloud9, I guess we need to introduce who these fellas are. Let's take a look. Nothing, Shroud, Skadoodle, Stewie 2K, and Automatic. Now this team, another one of those teams that are capable of just about anything, and are capable of losing as well. So it's really one of those things. Which Cloud9 will we see tonight?
Dr. Jekyll and Hyde team in that sense, but I think they're leaning more towards being a bit of a stable team. I think when we see them dip in performance, it's not necessarily that they lose horribly to much worse teams than themselves. It's just that they don't live up to the expectations of potentially knocking out other Tier 1 teams and that kind of thing. Back in the domestic region of NA, they've been doing pretty well for themselves, so that's where they find the most stability. And I wouldn't be too surprised if that's going to be the case today as well. I think they're going to put up a good fight versus Team Liquid. Well,
a good fight indeed, and a kind of a troubled storyline going into this one is Cloud9 have had to deal with the issue of their main dedicated opper. AWP or their opper not always being there this season due to some health problems. Yeah. However, he will be in the server tonight, firing on all cylinders. Hopefully, Mr. Latham, very dedicated, very much agile too. When you see some of his movement, you'll probably see that.
Yeah, and there's a reason why a lot of people talked about him as being the best opper in NA for many years, actually. Obviously, like him having a couple of unwanted breaks from CS over the course of the season is not the greatest thing you could see, but it hasn't really slowed him down. You see, whenever he came back from his time off, he just got right back into things. He didn't necessarily have a dip in performance, and I don't think that's going to be the case now either. He went to Austin, and looked good there, and just been playing solidly, honestly. Ever since. Obviously, we know him as a very passive operator, especially compared to the guy on the other side, which would be JDM. But definitely a solid asset for Cloud9 to have, and I think it's a much better. I think the team as a whole is much more dangerous once you have Scott in the lineup instead of having Stewie having to hop into his role as well.
Well, definitely bringing Skadoodle in, and when Skadoodle's on point, it kind of gives that flexibility you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely, and it allows players to play their more comfortable roles. Lets Stewie be the aggressive old self with the rifle, and Scott, he doesn't necessarily have to be that opper who looks for entry frags or openings. Whether it's CT or T side, which I think is beneficial for him. That's more towards his comfort role, at least.
Well, spoiler alert, you've already said JDM, so let's take a look at the rest of the roster over there on Liquid alongside of him. Nitro, Elige, Stanislaw, and Twist. Stanislaw being at the helm, being a sort of mid-season to late-season addition for this Liquid lineup, but able to kind of come in and take over the role of steering these guys one way or the other across each map.
Yeah, obviously after a couple of turbulent weeks, really, Team Liquid finally managed to find a final 5 that they could go into war with, and honestly, they've been playing pretty well from the little we've seen of them with the full lineup. Obviously, we saw them at the Summit, and we saw them in Austin as well, in addition to Pro League, and they have the same trajectory as you would expect newer teams to have, gradually getting better and better, getting more and more familiar with how they play, and I think as they close out this week, they're still in a pretty good shot to actually making it to Dallas.
Well, we have to talk about Elige.
Yeah.
No, we actually have to. It's something we have to do.
It's a bit of a necessity, really, when you bring up Liquid. Like, yeah, you can talk about the new additions and Twist and Stanislaw and what that's going to do to the team, but I think if you remove Elige from Team Liquid, there's not a whole lot of that team left, really. That's just kind of how important he is. A massive part, probably the biggest part, in terms of just straight-up firepower on that side. It's also their entry fragger as well, and you can see how good of a job he's been doing of actually just opening up sites. As you can see in the highlights right here, just exceptional aim and not afraid to actually commit to pushes and rushes and that kind of stuff, which is obviously vital for the role he plays. In addition to that, he's just remarkably consistent. Ever since we've seen Liquid play in Pro League, or before that, what have you, in previous iterations of the lineup, when other players have had dips in form, Elige has always been the consistent factor that always delivers, always shows up with a good performance, and I think that's extremely good to have if you're Liquid, just knowing he's a bit of a rock in your team.
Well, knowing you have that rock, knowing you have that fallback player, and comparable, even so much if we talk about Elige, comparable across the league, you could say, JKS for the Renegades, or you could say, there's these certain there's Stewie for Cloud9 that really kind of stick out as being that sort of rock player that 5 times out of 6 they're going to show up to the fight ready to go.
Yeah, and I think that's incredibly important to have, especially when you're in a bit of a transformation stage as well, as Team Liquid found themselves with having 2 new players coming into this, especially with the new in-game leader as well. The fact that Stanislaw is able to kind of experiment, figure out how to implement his vision on how to play the game and whatnot, while still having not having to worry about Elige being able to perform and actually making Liquid a competitive team at the very top level as they're trying to figure out their way.
Well, talking about AWPers a little further, I mean, we do have a pretty good bout here within this game itself. Jadianna versus Skadoodle, definitely known to be 2 powerhouse oppers here in North America. One lounging and then one all over the place. So definitely, what is there to say about this fight?
Oh, I mean, it's a very different type of fight, because normally you would see operators with the similar playing styles, and this one you probably couldn't have gone further away from it. And as you can tell, it's kind of evident as to who is the more aggressive player is. Ska with only 27 opening kills so far in Pro League, and JDM sitting on 73 of his own. We do have to keep in mind that Ska does have 4 maps less played than JDM, but that obviously doesn't make up for that kind of a gap in terms of opening kills. But these 2 are the guys who have been hailed as the best operators in North America for pretty much the entirety of the last 2 years. So seeing them go up against it, even though they have such different play styles, is always a fun battle.
So we're going to see them battle it out on Train and Inferno tonight to close out the second to last night of Pro League. First map being Train. Are either of these teams going to struggle and Train, or is there a chance here for one team to kind of get caught up?
I mean, if you could judge by recent form, the last thing we saw out of Cloud9 on this map was just a very lackluster performance on Train versus Luminosity, and Liquid on their end beating G2 in Austin. So, there's that, but I do think we're going to see a much better showing from Cloud9. It should be a very, very close game.
Well, standing by is Dabba Eric Stromberg with a little bit of Liquid's Train. Please take it, Eric.
Hey guys, welcome back to Stromberg Strategies. We're going to take a look at Team Liquid on Train. And again, not always about learning strategies, but it's fixing mistakes and the problems that we do in the game. Right now, 4-on-3 situation. There's Smoke Ivy. We have a good idea that they're probably 1 or 2 backside. Nitro's playing it safe, holding the angle. Watch for the boost. Very smart by Nitro. He gets the kill. Pause right here. Okay. So in a 4-on-3 situation, 2 is in that spot. 1 for the boost, 1 to boost up the person. So Nitro killed him. So they know at least 1 person's Ivy side. Can you ask? Unknown, okay? So if you don't know where a person's at, don't do what Stanislaw did and just rush into the old bomb train. You got to play a little safer against top teams like this, because you can't just run around with your head cut off against teams like G2. You're going to get popped. See right here? Boom. He gets taken out. Okay. Now we know where 2 people are at. The last 2. They're backside, okay? JDM, why are you so pushed up? This is such an aggressive angle. It might have worked against a lower tier team, but if you're playing against one of the best teams in the world, you have to play smarter than this. Fall back. Use your AWP. Use the range. And wait for your teammates. You have numbers up with like 20, 30 seconds left. Stall them as long as possible if necessary. Or just hold an angle to where, if you just hold like maybe Pop Dog or the oil train, you could have maybe won this round. G2, they're playing around with him. Okay, whatever. They lose a round. A mistake's made. Learn from it. Move on. Okay. So then, after Liege dies, spoiler alert, we're going to go to this next play. Pause right here for 1 second. 1 second. Okay, so this position right here, I don't understand what Liquid is doing, because for one, this spot is not a great angle for if they peek, because one, this is the second spot they look for, so this is very hard. And two, who is he baiting for? He's baiting for Nitro, who is an M4 right behind them, so there's no way you could even trade a kill in the first place. So interesting play by Liquid. Anyways, okay, you played a bad spot. It happens, guys. You learn. You won't do it again. Okay, at this point, I'm kind of curious, what is the game plan from Team Liquid? They know that Kennyas is up in Ivy. Nitro, he smokes it off. He's listening, whatever. We got Elish pushed up, and so you could play a little passive towards Ivy. Let them come out, maybe, play the number game. But instead, we got Nitro. Okay, I'm going to Molotov and try to sneak in this area as Stanislav's going up. Not the worst setup, but so okay. So this is okay. I like this, but then he peeks. What are you doing? Why are you peeking like that? You know there's an upper there, and here's Stanislav again. Kenny has just shot like 5 seconds ago, but you know what Stanislav decided to do? Let me just slow peek. I don't get it. What's going on through your minds? I know you guys are up 7-1, but you can't just throw away rounds like this, especially at a high level. So it makes me wonder, Team Liquid, they're a very strong team, but sometimes you make plays like this, like it's such amateur moves where I don't know if they're thinking all the way or they're just too caught in the moment. Either way, learn from your mistakes, move on, get better. Play as a team, please. You can't be too individual. Back to you, Stunna.
Hey, thanks, big dog. So, look, we're going into train Liquid Cloud9, and before we even bring those goons in over at the commentary desk, what's your prediction?
Honestly, you know what? I'm going to sit on the fence for this one. I think this is too close to call initially. So
that is actually not on the Scantron. It's not in the multiple choice that you can pick on the fence.
You never give me multiple choices here, man.
You're right. You have two choices.
I'm creating my own rules.
That's
taking charge.
Whatever, dude. Come on, commentators. Come on down. Let's hear your predictions as well.
I'm in the same boat as Vendetta on this one, actually. This is pretty hard to call.
Fence sitters all around the world.
Yeah, just
fence sitters.
I mean, it is pretty much impossible to call. I would go Cloud9 though.
They say, look, there's a man with some huevos. Right?
Literally, he went like Cloud9.
Yeah, just guess.
Is that the prediction you're looking for? Okay,
whatever. I'm
gonna
relax.
spice it up.
All this nonsense, relax. Commentators, take it away. Please take it away right now.
All right, thank you very much. Start of the game is going live immediately, so let's jump into the map as the pistol round is live. Cloud9 versus Team Liquid starting off on train, and Cloud9 going to be on the T side with Team Liquid over on the CT side. Right into the mix, we have Team Liquid getting aggressive, pushing their players up towards ladder room. However, T's going to try to challenge that. Shroud down and now out, and the same fake for automatic as Elish and Jadianna able to double team inside, knocking both those players out and already bring this down to a 5v3. Stewie tries to challenge it as well. JDM's still there, and now you just have a big pile of 3 bodies here as the last few T's are going to try to shuffle towards outside. Nothing dispatched of, and Skadoodle as well taken care of. It's a full ace for Elish as Team Liquid dominate to start off the pistol.
Destroyed. What was Stewie thinking going down there?
I have no clue.
Okay, like this one, these two I understand, right? You're trying to automatic trying to get up the ladder was hilarious. But then this one, knowing that there's 2 in ladder, Stewie, what are you doing, bro? Like, in what world are you gonna win that battle?
Not this one. Well, Shroud with a nice shot though brings us right back into Cloud9, having a chance at this one. Opens it up with a nice shot, and that's gonna be JDM down for the start, putting us into a 5v4. The rest of the team though, gonna be taking it nice and slow at the beginning of this one. Stewie gonna see if he can pick one up himself, but not finding it just yet. Taking a bit of Hall's control, and probably gonna see them push forward over towards box halls too. For right now, Team Liquid just holding over by like E-box on A primarily. And trying to isolate Cloud9, not gonna let them get outside the ladder room early on, but that may not even be where Cloud9 are gonna send most of their efforts towards. You can see it's a heavy amount of box control being taken. Here with 4 and soon 5 players going to be in this room. So
just the 4 Deagles.
Yep.
4 Deags and a Glock.
So you're probably going to be expecting this one to swing downstairs over into the B side pretty quickly. And it's have to be Stan to try and hold this back off. Sitting in the corner, gets a nice kill against Shroud. A lot more to go than that, however, and Stewie not even going to let him have the chance at it. Just goes right at the Rumper, catches Stan in the open, dispatches of him. Another advantage secured for Cloud9, at least for right now. Keep in mind, they're obviously still working on those pistols, so they'll have the best of gunpowder, at least compared to what Liquid are working against. Stewie holding this position. It's actually Skadoodle from range with the Glock that finishes off Nitro there, and Stewie still with his own deagle in hand. Going to be trying to do some more damage to the backside here. Just doing a great job of holding back both Legion and Twist. I don't even think they have the ability to make an attempt at this now. Falling back to CT. They're going to give this one up, and it's going to be Cloud9 going 1 for 1.
Yeah, Legion is going to salvage that M4. And only a FAMAS on Skadoodle with an ump and Shroud off that 1 dig. They just go inner with 4 players, trade 1 for 1 on stand, and round's pretty much over at that point.
Yeah, Leash looked like for a second they were going to be able to chase him through Ivy and challenge him, but that's not the case anymore. Gets himself into that nice little dumpster cubby and should be secure heading into the next round. So they keep those guns in play. Pause has been called, I'm assuming of technical nature, so it should be relatively quick. Yeah, technical pause being called, so just taking a minute to fix a small issue, I imagine, then we'll get right back into the match. But 1-1, everything thrown up into the air. Liquid obviously going to be forcing into this one, however, since they not only save those 2 guns, but they have that little bit of cash left over, so we'll see what kind of buy they can get in a second here.
Yeah, and all Elysia's work on that pistol round just...
Down the drain.
Yeah, just down the drain. Nice ace, does it by himself, and then the 1 dig by Shroud, man.
Yep.
Just opens everything up.
Yeah, now we're right back to even territory here. Cloud9, obviously with a chance to kind of take control, and that would be great for them starting off on the T side if they can push ahead there, get themselves those first couple of rounds for free, forcing Liquid onto the eco there, just buffering them up a little bit. Obviously T side going to be looking for about like 5 rounds or so, and if they can get close to that very early on, it's certainly going to help their case. Well, as I said before, it was a quick pause, and we are now unpaused, so we're going to jump right back into it here with the match going live. The buy from Liquid is actually pretty good. You'll see it, of course, in the UI in a moment here. They managed to get themselves 2 scouts, 2 UMPs, and obviously to save them 4. Everybody's got armor. They don't have any mollies or anything, but they do have full smokes. So a decent capability to probably try and hold back Cloud9 if they were to attempt sort of rush player. At the very least, if they're able to read into that default setup, they can smoke it out appropriately. Cloud9 just keeping themselves back early on, though. A few of their players hiding out inside of T-Con. A few more playing around with the white halls, but besides that, no action being taken by the Ts to get a huge amount of map control in the first 30 seconds or so of the round. Just kind of holding back, letting the timer run down. And the same can be said from Team Liquid, but they're keeping with their own aggressive positioning. Liege right up close to, I think he's inside of it right now, inside of the ladder room there on the edge of the smoke. We took a look at his perspective. Yeah, he's sitting inside right now. The smoke is faded, so he's not going to be entirely safe, especially if he gets pushed from both sides over by T-Con and the ladder itself at the same time. But he has a bit of a support system. Nitro a little bit further out. He's behind the E-box. He can help him out a little bit here and try to shut down Cloud9 before they even get outside and get any control at all. And of course, more of that's going to be coming out from Twist, too, way back over by Ivy itself, holding in the tunnels. But the other 2 with both of the scouts are going to be in B, and they'll have to go for quick rotates as they move in. Automatic actually spotting the shoulder, but goes for the first kill over here inside of the ladder room first. I don't think Nitro was actually aware that he was peeked back out, so that unfortunately throws things away right from the start of this one. Nitro and Liege aren't even really even given a chance to respond to that one. Quick rotates, granted, everybody already sitting in this site. Both Twist and JDM hitting their early shots here. It trades out Automatic and Nitro, and another tag as well. That'll bring Skadoodle down extremely low to 10 HP. Nothing also being brought to 30 from his earlier adventures. And now just trying to hold them back off, preventing the plan if they can. That will be possible. Smokes too far into the way here, but Twist with a good position. He'll move forward, dispatch of Stewie. Now alone over here on this side of the map, but Stanislaw is going to be joining him in a moment. He does still just hold right at the exit to the sandwich. And we'll slowly try to push forward, see if he can get himself a better gun, but that actually messes him up as Skadoodle is able to push back in, eliminating Twist, and this all falls to Stanislaw now. But he has both these players extremely low, 40 HP combined. Skadoodle's going to be sitting back there in Ivy. I think he knows he's there, but instead just goes hunting for nothing. Finds him, eliminates it before he can even get his feet onto the ground. But time is running low. Needs to try and somehow get Skadoodle out into the open. Well, he'll get him into the open, but he'll still lose the battle. Skadoodle with 10 HP clutches it out versus Stan, and Cloud9 will indeed hold their early advantage.
Yeah, Ska on that 2v2 with low HP goes around the bomb train and is able to kill those players very well. But this was a very big mistake by Liquid. Nitro, just the side of his body being shown, doesn't realize it. Elise thinks that he's covering team mid, but he's not at all. He's just peeking in and out every once in a while. So bad communication, badly played by Liquid at the start of that round is really what caused them that round, as JDM and Twist evened it up to a 3v3.
Yeah, and Liquid are going to try to get aggressive now that they're on the full save. 3 players in Ivy. Automatic, trying to challenge it. Holds strong, though. He's got support from Nothing a little bit further back, so it's a quick 3 kills for them. May even have a 4th in a moment, too, as JDM holding behind the server. We'll see if they check for that. They're being obviously hesitant for a good reason. Just nade it back out. 26 HP now. They're going to check it. JDM knows his fate is sealed. And for Stanislaw, not a whole lot that he can do. Holding behind the blue train, or on top of the blue train, but the back side of it. Finds himself up a good angle, but Automatic just rolling in, jumping headshots him, and Cloud9 close out the round.
I actually thought that was a pretty good eco by Liquid. Like a full eco, you just buy that one flash. Kind of take contact a little bit, and then the flash came. It just didn't line up, but that... I mean, that could work. That could work. Like, I could see a world where that's actually 5v3 Liquid.
Now Liquid do get themselves up into a full buy here, including the op onto JDM.
Because it's not just like a direct Ivy flash play. It's like they kind of took contact and then the flash came.
Yeah.
That's why like it's a little bit different.
You kind of get him into the fight and then surprise him with a flashbang in the last second. Just has to be communicated really well.
Yeah.
So you don't end up screwing yourselves over. Liquid getting that early smoke into Ivy will isolate some of the pressure from Shroud and Skadoodle for a little bit here. 2 players, 3 actually inside, but Elige makes this aggressive play. Works out initially, but the problem is there were so many other players from Liquid here, and Cloud9 were ready for it. So they not only trade with the one who goes aggressively inside, but then find 2 more Twists with a nice double lineup, but he peeks directly into Ivy where Skadoodle's waiting, and they have that double stack. So this goes down to a 2v1. JDM having a clutch, but he's got a great position if they do come directly outside. Flames can make this a little bit difficult, gets leg, but still trades it back better on a Skadoodle. And now 1 more shot's needed, misses the opportunity there, and misses it again on the re-peek, with Nothing falling back over to the Ivy tunnel. Knows he's going there. Bomb down on the ground. However, Nothing has plenty of time to play this out. 50 seconds remaining on the clock. Does have the disadvantage of working with an AK. But thankfully for him, JDM is low, so he only really needs 1 bullet anyway to secure this round. And right now, Nothing just freezing himself at the edge of Ivy, not wanting to peek into the tunnel, but at the same time not making any moves to completely fall back and try to wrap around through T-Con. JDM trying to read into this as well. He takes the safest position he can find, which is going to be inside of the ladder room. He can safely keep himself in the play, although I don't think he's actually going to be able to defend the bomb from there as it's in sandwich, so I don't think he's going to be able to freely walk up, retrieve this, and even plant it as well, assuming that JDM does not peek back out. With 10 seconds remaining, JDM does need to start looking to the site. He misses the cross from Nothing, and I don't think he's actually going to be able to hear him planting it from this range. So bomb goes down. JDM will have to start moving out into the site to spot this, but now Nothing has a great position just to watch for that. But JDM at range finds the shot anyway, takes out Nothing, and there you go. It's Team Liquid closing out the first gun round, going 2-3.
JDM with a nice round there for the 2v1 to save that, especially with about 18 HP or 11 HP.
Yeah, 11 HP.
Being legged by Ska. But Liquid, why didn't they throw any Molotovs into team mid? You know, they smoked the right side. If you just throw, you know, like SK does that push a lot, where they molly here and they molly behind the box, it's literally just 5v3. Like, there's nothing that they could do about it. It's just 5v3. Or they try to jump out and go away from the smokes, or they peek into your Molotovs, maybe get lucky and get a kill, but surprised they didn't do that. When you invest that much into a middle push, you might as well do it right, you know?
Yeah. I think they had so many players up close as well, just to surprise them at the very end of it. That it turned into such a huge 3v3, as you just saw there on camera.
And did anybody even peek from on top of the blue train?
Nope.
Yeah, because usually you combine it with people peeking on top of the blue train or one person, and then it's, you know, it's like a crossfire, right? That person's peeking below, that person's peeking above.
I think it was 2 left of blue train and 1 right of blue train that ended up being the formation. I don't know if someone fell down from up top or something, but
There's just better ways to do that push. There's way better ways, way safer ways, and had you done that, you know, you win that round, so.
Well, as you guys just saw, someone from Team Liquid dropped out of the server there, so just working on getting him back in. Can't see exactly who it is, but regardless, we'll get that player reconnected hopefully in a second here. And then restart the game, and it was... Miller's really bad at reading these and then figuring out who's the missing person.
Nitro.
Nitro, there we go. So, and yeah, because it's beginning of the round, there will have to be, there's not going to be a need for a medic or anything like that, so...
So what do you like more, the hosting or the play-by-play blue?
I like play-by-play. Especially if it's like in a live environment. Because you get like the crowd and stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah. I liked when they were listing off your list of gadgets that you got.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, they covered most of them. They missed some, though.
What'd they miss?
Um,
Google Pixel?
yeah, my Pixel. I have my my laptop.
You got a sick laptop, yeah?
Yeah.
Got a lot of gadgets. I mean, ladies, you could find all this on his Tinder profile. Instant match, instant swipe rights. Like, he's pretty famous on there.
I don't even think I have Tinder installed on my phone right now. Just a distraction. I have other things to worry about.
Like the next drone.
Well, Nitro's back in, guys, and we're on pause. So let's get into the match here now and see if Cloud9 can get a good response after being taken out there in the first gun round. We are obviously going to see full buys for Liquid 2, but they'll be a tad limited in terms of the gun power that they can bring. The UMP downgrade coming in for Stan and Elige having to go over to the FAMAS. But this shouldn't matter too much, and they still have like full utility and everything like that. Meanwhile, Cloud9 still working with your default buy here and splitting their players up into just a 3-2 split on the opener, but it's probably going to turn into a 1-1-1 pretty quickly. And it might just be a 1-3, however, as JDM pushing in. Eliminates Shroud. It's a bit of a heavy cost to Stanislaus' health pool, but doesn't matter much, as now they can evacuate their players from the B hulls, sending them all over here towards A to defend it. And immediately, just nobody checking the other side of that hallway. So Twist gets one for free, traded back out, but then Elige gets himself a double with them trying to push out through Ivy. Now, all of a sudden, it's just automatic alone in a 1v4. Taking it slow, able to isolate at least one player there, eliminating Elige. More work to do, and they know exactly where he's at. They should anyway. As he starts to push his way up, just hugging the right wall, not being quiet about it at all. So there's the peek from Nitro at Hell, and Team Liquid will close out pretty cleanly, actually, despite the loss of 2 players. They had pretty good control of that situation the entire time.
Yeah, good job by them to recognize that Ivy is the weak spot, essentially, and where they're going to come out. Twist probably, normally he gets more there, I think.
Yeah.
But Elige is there to get that double kill, forcing Cloud9 on a save, and a lot of that had to do with JDM winning that 1v2 to now put them in a position to actually, take the lead in this game.
Yeah, so for right now, Cloud9 just working with primarily Deagles again. 1 P250 for automatic and then a full save for Skadoodle. Stewie's going hunting. Definitely going to try to check for aggression over here on top of the train. He found it, getting some good damage. I think he tags him twice, actually, bringing him down to 36 HP. Twist got hit too, so he's at 63.
So what they should do here is on train, and Cash as well is really good, especially for around middle, is you should like play against Deagles, right? And as Stewie just walks out team, this could be dangerous for Liquid. Nope, Nitro and JDM got it. But you play against Deagles, and you get HE grenades. And HE grenades just destroy people around team mid and whatnot, and it's just such a good way of handling that. Similar to Cash, where you can nade over the boost, right?
Yeah. Well, we do end up seeing this round taken care of by Team Liquid pretty uncontested manner, as it's just down to Skadoodle here now. Holding inside. I don't even imagine, unless he just wants to end the round, that he'd even go out. Try to hold in here, see if someone tries to push him, and then maybe he gets lucky up close. But with a Glock and nothing else, there's not really anything to save or anything like that. So just hoping for the best odds in a 1v1. Maybe he gets a kill, maybe he doesn't. If not, it's not a big deal. And also giving them a little bit more time to discuss what they're going to do in the next round as well, just hanging out here.
Yeah, I'm the guy that just runs out. I don't like wasting time. Just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, unless I was gonna at least online for sure. Just run out.
Yeah, finally he does with like 20 seconds left. No one's gonna go for it. Even tries for the plant too, but not gonna happen. Elige wraps around E-Box pretty quickly there and takes him out. So Team Liquid will secure the round. 4-3, no plant, but enough money in the bank for Cloud9 to buy regardless.
Another thing that JDM should do is don't take such a, when he got scouted, he was taking like a very big angle. He should only take like a pixel angle almost whenever you're playing against like Deagles in that situation. Just take like a pixel angle, that's it. And it's just really difficult to 1D someone like that, for obvious reasons.
So now back onto the full buy. Cloud9 sending a lot more of their players upstairs this time. There's two, it's only looking like 2 or 3 granted, but most sent like 1 player up here. Now, only gonna spread automatic. Just barely hops out of it. Just movement at the very least, and he gets behind a box, so stays safe for that HE grenade. If he had managed to go the other way, got his out of there. The HE grenade might have finished him off, so keeps himself alive by the grace of his decision to fall back instead of pushing forward a little bit more to get out of the molly there. So still 5v5. And finally, Cloud9, in a moment here, I imagine, are going to have to make a move to start to take a little bit of map control down to a minute now, and they haven't tried to do anything aggressive yet. They've just been holding over towards Ivy, T-Con, and the ladder room as they're lining up for just a default outer execution. Liquid's ready for this one, too. They got 4 players here. A little bit passively set up, a lot of them focusing on the Ivy and old bomb tunnel. Not really a lot of players forward this time over towards T-Con and They're going to kind of let them out there, but thankfully they have the optimal range battle. In the meantime, though, Scooby got himself all the way up, but was caught trading guns, so was only going to be able to get that 1 kill. Stanislaw finds a second before he is finally mollied back from Z. But there's 2 more players to worry about over here inside of the Ivy tunnel. Shroud taking out 1. He knows the second one dived into the short lane, but nice shot from Jadianna right up close. Gets that headshot on the Shroud. Nothing's got to trade back for that, but now he's alone in the 1v2 with only 20 seconds left to get this bomb onto the ground. But thankfully, he's holding it, and that shouldn't be too hard to do. Just goes right for it, planting it, even has the smoke to support his fallback. He can just camp out wherever he'd like on the second half of the site. Try to play this out. Looking first for the player in the Ivy tunnel, but reading a little bit too far back. Does decide to wrap around here. Try to wrap through Sandwich, seeing if he can push himself forward there. But again, not finding much and leaving himself exposed now to a push from the left side. Thankfully for him, no one on Team Liquid checking for it. Hooking the train. These guys are running out of time. They haven't even been able to figure out where he's playing from just yet either. They should give away slight position, and there we go. Nothing walks himself into the first kill. Up on top, he can just hop over to the orange train and look for that last player. It is going to be JDM trying to clutch it. Goes swiping with a knife. He hits somebody. Can't actually finish the job. So JDM escapes with the defuse. Nothing will get the kill, but it doesn't matter as Team Liquid are getting the round.
So what Liquid should have done there in that 2v1 though, well, you talked about how long they were taking, and they took a really long time. But JDM needs to just get a smoke on the bomb. If he just gets a smoke on the bomb and taps it, and then just jumps up like above the smoke, nothing has to face, he has to come out. That should be your main priority. Stan could just sit there the whole time back green. You know, just making sure like nobody pushes anything. As long as JDM can do that, you're probably gonna win the round. So we see a 5v3 right off the bat by Liquid. I do like how Liquid, not that, but I do like how Liquid played the mid-round aggression towards Ivy.
Yeah. Automatic bringing things back a little bit though after Team Liquid started off in dominating fashion. We saw JDM getting the first kill. Automatic finding a third one too at this low HP as well, 6 right now. But Skadoodle sinking another one this time against Stanislaw, and just like that, it's all down to Twist, the man who was able to secure one of the 2 kills they got at the beginning of this round, but all that seemed to have been thrown away now. He does have both Shroud and Automatic extremely low, but I don't think this was properly relayed unless he's trying to wrap around through Z to push back in right now. Not sure. It looks like he may go back in. I was curious if he was just going to fall back and hold there for a moment, but it's looking like he'll make an attempt at this one. So you may be aware the problem is going into the site. It gave Cloud9 full reign to change up their positions entirely, so he is not going to have good reign about where exactly anyone is positioned here. Goes in for a check, hoping for his entry to actually get him back into the site. Just tosses out a grenade, hopes he gets lucky, but not going to find it, and now finally he gives up on it and will evacuate to save his M4.
Yeah, what's Liquid's money looking like right now? Okay, so if I'm them, I'd probably force here. But, you know, Cloud9, that was a big round to win, just economically, definitely.
Especially the way it started out.
Yeah. Let's try 5v3, and then Automatic makes this play. And I don't know what JDM's doing here. Did nobody say he was, you know, top blue?
Either that or just a mystery thinking he would have jumped down after he got those 2 kills. But now...
I mean, even the whole time Automatic was fighting, he should have just peeked him and killed him.
Well, Cloud9 are probably actually just going to walk away with this run out, as it was a full save. They didn't force into it. Twist obviously has the M4, but they don't have anything else besides that. And Cloud9 just walked out for free on the outer and planted the bomb. So maybe able to position themselves for a few exits, but in terms of actually winning anything here, not going to be looking likely. Liquid aren't even trying to get aggressive with these exits either. They're all just holding in like CT and box cells and whatnot to make sure that Cloud9, if they try to hunt, will be relatively unsuccessful. But Cloud9, giving Team Liquid a decent amount of respect too. They're not really trying to push into them or anything like that. So this round may actually end with no one dying, based on the way things are going. Someone may find themselves in the wrong part of the neighborhood and end up dying because of that, but we'll see in a second. And if that one player is going to be anyone, it'll be a Liege, but hey, Shroud finally picking up 1 kill as he pushes in towards Ivy. Second and third kills are found for Cloud9 as well at the hands of Stewie and Shroud once again. And only one dies to the bomb explosion, so just Twist survives, and again, like I said, saving the M4 from 2 rounds back.
So decide to buy here. scout. I guess that was Twist.
Probably is.
Well, anyways, Liquid not on the best buy. Cloud9 looking good this game, especially off that second round win, winning a couple of those close rounds. A lot of rounds have been really close, actually.
Definitely don't want to count Liquid outside of it, especially with plays like that. Nicely done. Leech doesn't realize it yet, but spraying through, he does tag a decent amount of damage. Just under a third. Stewie's HP getting eliminated. And Twist again, winning out the initial 1v1 back over here in Ivy.
Did he try to walk through that smoke?
I think he did. So, relatively easy opening kill. However, that hasn't seemed to mean much based on what we saw in the last big gun round. Big chance for Cloud9 to swing it back. It's going to come when they do go for this enter deployment. Currently only 2 players here, but a third could be there in just a matter of seconds with the Liege hanging out over there towards, I believe he's in heaven right now. Yeah, I think he's up on top, so he's going to take him up another second or two to get down there before he can fully rotate in. But here come the smokes. One sitting up on Pop Dog there. It's going to be Stanislaw going inside of the sandwich between the trains and the bomb itself. More trying to push their way towards it. Molly getting in the way. Shroud not going to be feeling safe to push past that just yet, but they are going to try to wrap back around here now. Sand reading into it. He gets 1, gets 2. Third going to be up on the sidewalk that he can punish, but actually Elise just grabs that one. Now Stan trading out to the AK. It's up to Skadoodle here to try and clutch this one back out, and he gets 1. He gets 2. He's looking for the player at upper, but he can't get it done, and Twist will shut down the round.
2 sick kills by Ska, but 1 on 5, not much to do in that situation. But Liquid wins a round where they don't have much money. They win it pretty clean. So nice inner hold by them off the 4v5 by Twist.
Yeah, good inner hold by Stan, specifically with UMP sitting in between. Was up on top of the train, but he made a last
Perfectly placed Molotov.
Made a last-minute decision to jump back down in between and caught so many players. They didn't even check it either when they did try to push towards sidewalk instead, so he had free reign on basically both of those guys. Stewie opens it up this time, however, moving in with the elimination of Twist. JDM trained that back over here by Ivy. Still have Nitro to support too, so JDM can fully focus on teammate if he wants to. Shroud, though, is trying to hunt it down, but moving to go to the right side, gets distracted by Elige on the train, so misses his opportunity to potentially take down JDM. And now it's to kind of fall back, and what's even worse, obviously, as you can see it there on the screen, Stanislaw lurking his way all the way through the White Halls. It's about to open up a massive flank, and neither Skadoodle or Stewie are paying attention to this. I don't even think they're going to see it. He pushes his way back out. Stewie noticed it at the last second. It's too late, though. Thankfully, though, he did a good amount of damage, so Shroud is able to trade that out, and they basically just go 1 for 1, bring this down to another 3v3. Nitro going to try to get aggressive, at least up to the server. I believe Nothing may ended up hearing that, though, since he did go for the jump, and he ran for a second or two. So Nothing paying attention to that. The peek, knows he's there for sure. He's going to molly him to get him back out in the open, and this is where he's going to go for the kill. Tries to hold this short angle. He's being aware of the fact that there could be another opper sitting back there, but goes into it anyway. And that is where JDM is waiting for. His bait setup works perfectly. JDM moving himself over. A great shot from Shroud at range to dispatch of Nitro, but still, again, alone with a 1v2 situation set against him. He will have to deal with JDM sitting up on top. Good angle for him to play against, especially since JDM misses his shot. But still, now they know where it is, and JDM just goes right through the smoke to finish off the round.
Sick job by JDM. That was really, really well played. You know, just that entire round by him. Saving his teammate here. This angle that he took right here was awesome. That was so smart by him, understanding that the other guy's probably going to come out team mid. And then the way he outplayed Shroud by running through the side of that smoke. It's not a disadvantage, really, when you run through like the side of the smoke like that. So it's not like you're like, you know, when Nothing died to Twist is going to kill him 10 times out of 10, right? But that, like, JDM's not going to die doing that.
Stanislaw, unfortunately, getting tagged early on here by a stray shot. Finds himself at half HP. Nitro, better off, though. He pushes forward, gets himself the first kill on the round this time. And for Elige, up on top, Pop Dog, pushing forward. Brings Skadoodle on a 34 HP, but he himself gets tagged a little bit, too. So, just going to back up there for right now. And Nothing trying to make an effort to push himself in through Ivy. He's got Twist, potentially, to battle out against in a moment here. Just not going to find him as of yet. And for the other 3 still alive in the Cloud9, well, they're playing around over here and lead up towards the box halls. Wanting to try and check downstairs in the ladder room. Not going to find much here. Just losing Shroud, though, when he tries to swing out into the open by upper. Stanislaw hitting the shot on the secondary up. And so for Skadoodle and automatic, just default Glocks and nothing else. This is probably going to be impossible. And we should see a swift shutdown coming in from Team Liquid to claim their 8th round. So we just see some sniper shots from the Glock. Skadoodle hit a pretty nice one, I think, on the pistol round, but since then haven't seen much of it. So Automatic getting himself at least a little upgrade to the Deagle there. He spotted Stan, or excuse me, he spotted Stan, but just wasn't able to hit the shot as well as he would have liked. So Stan gets the better of him, and of course we see the flank finally come to fruition as Team Liquid do indeed claim the round. 8-5 now as we go into the last few, and this could end up being the last real big buy from Cloud9. Split is going to send 4 of their players up into the White Halls once more, keeping nothing on the outside of T-Con. Everyone else pushing themselves up. Once again towards box halls here and just kind of holding it up, waiting it out. We've got more aggression from Team Liquid, having Nitro inside of the steps. For the Lateral. A few others waiting on the outside to support that. Very little inner presence again, as they have just brought it down to Stanislaw on the secondary out. But Stanislaw's been pretty good at not only just weighing out his own position, but actually being able to frag out too when it comes to these pressured spots. And these big hits happen from Cloud9 more times than not, though he has had assistance from teammates, and that may not happen this time. As there's no one that's gotten hyper-aggressive pushing in towards T-Con or another area of the map that would give them intel to suggest that it's not going to come towards A and would allow for the early rotation, or they've usually just had a second player here. That's going to come in now, though. JDM rotating in, so they've got the double ops sitting inside of this site. Again, ready to defend it. In the event that Cloud9 do follow through with this hit, and while Stewie finding himself dead on the ground again, another failed upward push from Cloud9. Leave one of their players down on the ground, not much to show in training for it. No one is following through on a ramp to try to push their way back in, and when they do, it's just wide open for these offers to pick them off one by one. And there we go. Stanislaw already up to 2, could find himself a third and a second here, and he is indeed going to sink that kill. That Shroud getting knocked out, and that pretty much seals the deal. Leash comes back in, goes for the spray, and finds himself the last kill against nothing to put Team Liquid up to 9 going into the last round.
Yeah, Liquid kind of, you know, Cloud9, I don't know, the way they're trying to win rounds is a lot of just, you know, they don't do many executes or anything like that. It's a lot of just slow play and then people looking for picks or looking for opportunities, trying to relay that to their teammates and then going off that. I don't know, I don't see like too much like general direction in my opinion. Stan just runs up, does the fallen pick.
He was dead in the water too, but not the case. Stanislaw holds it out, and now we're going to see a lot more aggression from Cloud9 over here into the outer bomb site. A misread too. They could have had a Leash completely dead on the ground. He was blind, but didn't work out. Stewie being able to find 1 kill, but Nitro battling it back. Takes out Skadoodle just a moment later, already putting this down to another 4v2. Nothing, and Stewie left alive and trying to push up at least get themselves a plant so they can start this timer, but even that's going to prove difficult. Nothing, just going to tag again. Stewie finishing him off. Finishing up Nitro, I should say, as he tries to work his way over towards upper, and a missed up shot gives nothing. An extra lifeline here, keeping him in the game for a little bit longer. They need to hold on, though, and it's a wise decision not to plant the bomb, but when push comes to shove and they actually have to take these battles, they lose both of them at the hands of a Liege, who pushes forward, claims those last 2 kills, and closes out the half 10-5 in the favor of Team Liquid. A dominating one. A little bit of a bumpy road in the first couple of rounds, but they do bring it back quite nicely, and hold that advantage. Stick with us, guys. The second half is coming up in just a few moments.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Legion Lenovo, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Well, we are back once again, ladies and gentlemen, here with Team Liquid coming out with a dominating first half on Train, 10-5 in their favor, and we're already ready to jump into the second half as the pistol round is going live now. But overall, Cloud9 looking good at the start, but then all that falling away towards the end of the half.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of close rounds, you know, didn't really go their way. The 2v1 with nothing, Jadianna able to get that defuse down. And Liquid, one of the things that Liquid does well is their mid-round aggression, their mid-round adaptation is very good. Like, they know Ivy's pushed up. So what do? They have like 3 guys play it and peek it and get those trade kills, make it like a 3v2 or 4v3.
Okay.
What was this?
I don't know. Just spam 6s and then a box. So, well, ignoring that, moving into the pistol round now. Team Liquid are just going to be stacking outside of T-Con for the most part. Sending a few more players up through the white and box sauce to investigate there. Probably to make a little bit of noise and a bit too. Much slower than what Cloud9 attempted to do on their pistol round, of course, and for the most part did fail. They tried to do that 3-man drop over inside of ladder room, and for the most part was taken care of pretty easily by Team Liquid. I believe that was, I think it was Nitro or Liege that managed to get the ace in the last pistol round there. Now, with time getting a little bit lower, we are going to start to see them line up for the actual execute, which is basically just going to turn into a default with a lack of Ivy play from Team Liquid here. And actually, hold on, maybe a little bit different. Twist sitting inside is the last one left in there, but they do all fall back, and now they're going to try to make an interplay instead. And it's a bit of a last-minute decision. Like I said before, they were all lined up for a default prior to that, but they changed it up, and it seems to work out, at least for now. Elish pushing in, dispatches of Stewie. Skadoodle knows he's going to get pushed, so just holds himself on top of the spindle, ready to take these tools, but Nitro, beautiful shot again on the pistol, moving in, looking for more, but finally Shroud going to be able to take him out of the play. And now Elish, next up to bat, hiding behind the tanker train, not going to stick around there. There's a lot of CTs pushing his way, and he doesn't want anything to do with it, doesn't have a choice. There was nothing pushes him out from up on top. Eliminates Elish, and now leaves it down to 3 players from Team Liquid. They've got a very passive hold. There is a smoke sitting on Cloud9 still for automatic there, so the molly drop from up on top is not going to work out for them. Smoke fading away. They've got a nice line. They should be able to take care of nothing. Pushing forward, JDM holds the line, and they spray right into the smoke. But Stanislaw is going to find that final kill with his knife, taking down Shroud and allowing Team Liquid to hold control at the beginning of this half.
Yeah, Nitro pretty much winning that round for his team. I mean, he goes down lower, survives. And Stewie playing passive, he like that's a CT pistol spot where you just have to hit your shots. It's literally just as simple as that. If you're gonna play in or retake like that and play passive, you have to hit your shots because you know they're gonna push you. You know they're gonna be in your face. You're gonna have a few pop shots that you're gonna be able to take on the cross, but besides that, they're gonna push you right after that. He's not able to connect, and Nitro pushes up, gets those first 2, gets his teammates in deep positions, good positions, and they're able to close out that round.
Shroud hitting a nice first shot at range with the scout, but it's going to be short-lived. Trying to take another battle from Ivy, dispatched of, and now it's all Liquid right now. One more player trying to hold close up to the train, but not checking the middle portion of it. Will allow for Elish to have a quick closeout against Stewie. And now Skadoodle, obviously, over here in the White Halls, probably not going to be expecting much more from him. May try to flank, and maybe we'll get a surprise against 1 or 2 players, but that's a best scenario. You're not expecting him to get much more than that, and this should be an easy 12th round for Liquid. See Scott trying to move in for that play now, but he's been smoked off. So we get to go directly through that. I believe there's someone just dedicated watching that as well. So keeping his eyes to the ground to see if anyone is going to try to lurk through that to hunt him out. But finally the smoke has faded away, and now might as well go for it. Gets 1, gets 2, almost had the 3rd as well if he had a little bit more ammo there, but finally runs out. And Nitro will push back in there to close out on the round itself.
100-bullet CZ in the clip.
That'd be insane, dude.
You're the best gun in the game. What would be better than that?
I don't know, maybe like an op with no cooldown on it?
Yeah, that'd be pretty OP. What is a full eco for Cloud9 though?
It'd be cool if there was like a mode like that, like an insanity mode or something.
Insanity mode?
Where just like, you can just, there's no like limits on anything. Everybody has like unlimited ammo. Snipers don't have like recoil time or anything like that. You just keep firing them afterwards.
Everyone would just op.
Yeah, I know. It'd be hilarious.
Be like Source. Everyone just opping.
No movement restrictions on guns either. Everybody runs at full speed with guns. Well, getting back into it now. We're going to see Cloud9 Skadoodle holds for the first kill, and nothing pushes himself in there for a second one as well. Nothing even finding a second one after he picks up the AK. Still alive, still well, and still at full HP more importantly, but he doesn't have any armor, so taking any direct duels where he doesn't have an angle advantage is where he's going to find himself in a bit more of a tougher situation. And now pushing out towards the sandwich, he's finally met his match against Elige, and we'll take him back out. And for a full save, that was actually rather impressive from Cloud9, getting 3 to 4 kills. Something that's going to help with keeping the money low at the very least now that they're getting into the gun run. But the problem is, with this much of a scoreline disadvantage going against them, they need to make sure that they're essentially flawless from this point forward.
I think they got 3 kills both eco rounds, right? So Liquid, not the best economy. You know, if they lose this round, they buy the next. It's not going to be the best buy round possible. But at the end of the day, they are up 5 to 13 in favor of Liquid.
Yeah, so definitely not going to be worried about too much right now.
And they still have a better buy this round than Cloud9 does.
Nice spray coming in from nothing this time. I think we saw a little bit of that from Elige in the first half. Not doing a huge amount of damage, though. Only knocking off about 15 from JDM. Now JDM himself leads the charge as they do go for the peek on ramp. They find a player, but the shot's just off. Probably would have been a leg anyway, too, so I think through the wall would have done it max like 50 or 60 damage against Stewie.
Yeah, and Stewie almost always spots like that, so that's like a direct read coming out from Liquid, saying, hey, this is an opportunity that we can have to just get a free kill.
But after that, I actually sent pretty much everyone that was in the box holes back, just leaving JDM to watch out in case Stewie or someone else on Cloud9 tries to get aggressive again. And it's a full fallback too, I believe, from everybody else on Team Liquid, just keeping 2 up on top of the ladder room. And I think the other 2 may end up going back down the steps and wrapping in a T-con so they can try to execute just the ladder team mid push into A.
Ska is opting sandwich though, so he has really deep vision into team mid. Pretty passive Ivy hold. Shroud just watching it from back green, and then 2 towards inner. But you know, if there's nobody team mid, you really don't have to worry about like a really heavy outside hit too much.
Yeah, that's going to change right now though, with smoke starting to be deployed into the site. To the outer push coming back in. And in a moment here, Skadoodle is going to be tested. Ready to hit that shot. Nitro and the others are holding, however. Flashbang over first. Skadoodle does get baited and taking a shot. Now he's kind of trapped here. He's focusing instead on trying to isolate the CT side opper, or the T side opper, but it doesn't work out. And it's just 4 straight kills for Liquid. No trades at all. The closest they get is bringing Twist down to 10 HP. But Stewie doesn't even want to take an attempt at this one. He's just going to sit back, roll on the other site, and try to save that M4.
He's just like, what happened, man? You guys all just died instantly.
While inspecting his knife.
Well, with I don't know, with Ska there, Nitro kind of just like jiggle peeked a little bit and he missed that shot. But the problem with Ska is he's probably gonna remember that every time now. He's gonna be like I don't want to play sandwich again because that happened. But that's what he needs to do. He needs to play sandwich. He needs to, you know, like if you lose the round, I mean, in large part they lost that round because he missed that shot, right? Let's be real. The first kill is super important. If he gets that shot, he doesn't have to worry about team mid. He probably peeks towards ladder, gets the other one. Maybe JDM trades, but most likely not. And then it just makes it really easy for the rest of his teammates. But at the end of the day, how did they lose the round? They lost the round because someone jiggle peeked and he missed. It's not a bad way to lose a round. If you're going to lose a round because of that, or in large part because of that, it's not like you have a bad setup or you're doing anything wrong, like tactically speaking. Just miss a shot.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Problem is that it might be hard to forget that when the scoreline is so detrimental now. Let's push them even further into the abyss.
You gotta have a short memory in Counter-Strike when it's like things that you just can't really like control, right?
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
You want to have a good memory when it's like, oh, did I peek this wrong? What did this team do? How does this player play this spot tendency-wise? But you want to have a short memory when it's like, oh, I just missed my shot, dude. It's like, whatever. You never want to care.
And that just gets in your head and it messes you up for a long time. So
yeah, literally, I think like Oscar plays like I think he has the best mentality for an offer. This guy, like, he'll be 1 in 9 at times, and he'll just still every CT round just rush for a pick every single time.
You talking Mixwell or the actual Oscar?
Oscar.
Okay.
OSKAR.
Gotcha.
He's a beast.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a beast.
Well, Elige finding the first kill back on a ramp, and Nitro also catches success. Elige perfectly timed and waiting out over here for a push on the ladder itself. And there you go. It's another clean sweep from Liquid. This time, obviously, being a little bit easier with Cloud9 essentially being on a full eco. And Shroud now just with the P250 in armor. Going to get timinged as well. Looks the wrong direction as Nitro goes for the peek and doesn't even have a chance to respond to that one. 5-15. Cloud9 will have a full buy, but now they need to win 10 rounds straight for OT.
Yep, Oscar's a beast, and Rops is basically EU swag.
Yeah.
Literally, he plays like so much like swag. It's crazy. It's like EU swag. He's so good. That kid's gonna be like a top 10 player, for sure.
Yeah, it's really interesting how like Mouse has evolved over the past like 7 months from this German team, and now they're turning into like phase 2.0 in a way.
It's crazy though. Like mentality-wise, it's just so important in this game. It really is. And that's just the best mentality to have, like, by far. Ooh, nice little setup at Ivy here. Shroud dodging flash, automatic posted up with an op. I like it.
And in a minute here, Stanislaw is going to cross right into that if he continues too far forward. So he's got to be careful. He's got to have a better plan to this one, otherwise he's just going to be dead in the water right at the start. JDM already hit the first kill, though, against Stewie. Now Flash moving in. Automatic misses the kill, and now he loses his teammate, and he's also stuck close up with an op. Skadoodle had some success elsewhere on the map with the dispatchment of JDM, but so far that's been it. And Stanislaw's not even going to go in for that second kill. He's happy just with the one he got. His teammates have had so much success elsewhere. Look at all this control they got into inner as well. You don't have to worry about too much about hunting down that second kill on Ivy. Elige with a really good position playing around these smokes. He pretty much has the angle advantage, and any duel he's going to take right now until these smokes fade away. But again, they should fade relatively soon, so he's going to back out of there, get himself behind the tanker trade. Ace Nade moves its way in there, dispatches of Skadoodle into a twist, knocking out nothing. It's down to automatic to clutch out a 1v4 to keep Cloud9 in this game, and that's only 1 out of the 9 rounds they need to win. He's obviously going to make an attempt at it, but we don't expect too much here. And with that said, Team Liquid should be able to close out this one and take control of the map. Very, very important to make sure that Team Liquid takes control of these. They are going to give them a spot in the playoffs if they're able to take. I think they need to take 2 now. Things have changed a little bit, obviously, with Winterfox kind of giving up their slots and a lot of those scores changing because of that. But as far as I was aware, Liquid only needed to win like 1 or 2 maps, and they have a relatively secure spot. So there's one right there, just a few more, and they'll have themselves a slot in Dallas.
Yeah, just a few rounds that they played on D-side, but it was absolutely flawless for those 6 rounds. 16-5 at the end of the day, man. Just great performance by them. Losing a couple rounds that I probably thought they should have won, you know. But I mean, if they don't
Mainly
get
the first half, yeah.
if they don't get eco'd, right, when Shroud has that 1 dig and they go towards inner, I mean, that could have been a 16-2.
Yeah.
So they were dominant.
So let's bring the analysts into the conversation now, and of course, get their thoughts on how Train went between these 2 teams.
I mean, honestly, there's not a whole lot to be said. I think you kind of pointed it out. That was a pretty one-sided affair. I expected way more out of Cloud9, but this is more like what we saw versus Luminosity in that bout than anything we've seen previously in Pro League.
Well, it is definitely kind of a wrencher right there for Cloud9. Only 2 maps away from securing their trip to Dallas. And unfortunately, they're unable to grab this map. So, you know, it's one of those situations where, like, hey, guys, wake up.
Yeah, no.
What are you doing? You got 1 more map. You better make the best of it.
And in addition to that, obviously you don't want to lose to Cloud9, who's right next to you on the table, seeing how if you lose that, that's going to give the head-to-head, you know, going in the favor of Liquid. So if you end up in a tie situation, Liquid are going to get the better seed and placing off of that. And, you know, given how tight it is, just following right behind them, that could potentially, you know, be the decider whether or not they make it or not. So right now, Cloud9 definitely needs to, you know, basically get punched in the arm and wake up and do better when they go into Inferno.
Yeah, going into Inferno, definitely Train didn't work out for him, but Inferno, there is still a chance. Okay, so let's not, we can't doom them because these guys are, you know, they're good.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And going into Inferno, again, it's not necessarily a map that neither team has had a ton of time to practice on, obviously, because it's fairly new. But this is what Cloud9 has opted to go for. Like, this is their map pick going into it. And we've seen them play it quite a bit as of late. Very aggressive on it. Obviously, a lot of it falls on Stewie to create openings towards Banana and whatnot, and that's how, you know, how they start off their play. Predominantly, we've seen nothing, you know, lurking towards A-halls, so on, towards the A-bomb site. They kind of spread out in a sense, try to put pressure in many places on the map at the same time. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not, you know, Liquid, honestly, is more of a question mark for me, because we've seen them play a couple of times. We saw them play versus Immortals in Austin and did all right. But, you know, I kind of feel like this Liquid team is just going to get better and better every time we see them on a map. So, let's see how many steps of progress they've made.
Well, in case you did miss how Train turned out for Cloud9 and Liquid, you can head over to youtube.com/ESLCS, where they do have all the VODs and actually even the stream right now. Somehow, some way, if you're watching this, there's a 100% chance you're probably on youtube.com/ESLCS. Yeah. But if you haven't already figured out, there's already VODs across the entire season over there too. So check those bad boys out. Now, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be going into Inferno, the last map of the night. We've had 5 maps here. Let's have one more.